Ciao, I wasn't planning of making a video today as my plan was to do a little barbecue outside with some chicken thighs. But then the weather turned and it looked like it might be raining, so decided to cook the chicken differently and do an all-in-one meal. So I thought I'll make a video. I love making videos of what I cook. So I have decided to do everything in the oven and everything will be roasted together. So I got some chicken thighs here. The one thing I like about meals like this, unplanned meals, is that to an extent is where you can use the most of your imagination and make use of whatever you've got in the fridge, which is actually exactly what I'm doing now. If I was doing the barbecue, it would have been a fairly simple meal, barbecue chicken on outside and maybe a little marinade. Whereas actually doing it like this now, I'm actually decided that I'm going to add some vegetables, and so I had a look in the fridge and I found an aubergine or eggplant and also some mushrooms and pepper. So I think it's nice because you can get a little bit more creative. So whatever you have got in the fridge, really, it's good, but try and have a combination of colors also, because it enriches the look of the dish, which is always nice. So I have decided that I will be using an eggplant, and also I've got here a pepper which I'm slicing, removing the seeds, and I'm going in from the inside so that it's a little bit safer. And if you find anything like this, the white pith, just remove it as it is a little bit bitter. So I'm cutting everything in nice long strips so that hopefully things will cook together. I've just gone and dug some potatoes from Julie's patch, and I've got literally, I just scrubbed them with some water. I'm not removing the skin. They were singing under the ground about 10 minutes ago. So I'm just slicing the little one in half, and the bigger ones I just do them in little slices like this. Also I decided to add a few tomatoes. These are plum tomatoes. Again, you can use also cherry tomatoes or tomatoes like this. Will also be good, salad tomatoes, anything that you've got in the fridge, or not tomatoes if you don't want to add any. But I like the color and I like the taste, so I'm going to add a good handful. Moving on, I've got some mushroom here which needs to be consumed, so I'm going to be slicing them in about anything between half a centimeter and a centimeter, and I will be adding them also. I tend to wash my mushrooms when I buy them, and then I'll keep them in the fridge, by the way. I dry them and I put them in the fridge so that when I cook them, they're ready. Still on the vegetable front, I've got here a little white onion, so I'll remove the peel. My chicken will be cooking for about 40 to 45 minutes, so I think what I'll do with this, I'll chop it into 6 pieces like this, so that it retains its shape when it's in the oven. Now these are little sausages which my brother donated to me when we were in Sicily. Actually, I call them sausages, but they are like treated salami. They're very, very young, and so I'm going to be pinching one of these, and these are mild, whereas the darker ones are treated with chili flakes, I think, or chili peppers, so they're a little bit, like maybe like a chorizo, but they are Sicilian sausages. So what I'll do, I'll chop a good 2/3 of one, like this. And like all sausages, of course, they come with the skin. So before I chop it any further, I will remove the skin. That is a little tip for anyone who does this. Sometimes people chop them with the skin and then you find the skin afterwards. You can eat the skin, but I never find it very pleasant, so I like to remove it beforehand. And I'll chop these now in little pieces like this, little circles of about half a centimeter each piece. And all of my ingredients supporting the chicken are ready, so I'll just move this out of the way and I'll bring the chicken back here. And as they are, I'll just pick them up and I add everything inside a nice large oven dish. These are olives which I keep in olive oil with some dried tomatoes, and I've got a couple of colors, black and green, and you can see that there is still some of the oil. So I'm going to add a good handful, and also the sun-dried tomatoes. I think, oh, they're a little bit tough, so I'll chop them in little pieces, maybe in half, and I will also add them in. Now, moving on to the marinade, I'm going to use a few bay leaves that I keep in the garden, as I've got a lovely big tree, And also I love rosemary with chicken or anything like that. So again, this I would like to see singing in the sun, but there is no sun outside. It was just singing outside up until 15 minutes ago. So some fresh rosemary goes in. Salt and pepper next, so I'll put it in so that then I do not forget. A little bit more pepper than salt, of course. And the penultimate ingredient before it goes in the oven is going to be some olive oil, and I'll make sure that I go all over the top of my ingredients like this. Nice big clove of garlic. So what I'll do with this one, I'll just crush it. I'll move my board so you can see. With a knife, I'll leave the skin on, and I'll put it in the middle, and I'll give everything now a good mix using my hands so that all of the ingredients get the flavor from the olive oil, but also from my rosemary and my bay leaves, and of course I'm combining everything together. Do ensure that you have a nice big large container or oven dish, because obviously this will need to cook properly. And I'm nearly ready for the oven. This is a half a glass of dry white wine, so I'll just pour it on top of everything, and this will help the chicken and everything cook together when it's in the oven, and also ensures that it doesn't dry too much, and it is ready to go in the oven. So I'll turn the oven on 180 degrees. That is my favorite temperature, and it will be going in once it's at temperature for, as I said, 40 to 45 minutes, and then it will be ready. But I'll let you know if it requires longer or less, so I'll see you then. So dinner's been cooking for 45 minutes and nearly there. I extended the time by 5 minutes, as when I checked it last it was cooked, but I wanted to be of a golden color, so I decided to cook it for 50 minutes altogether. Also, for the last 15 minutes, that is 1-5, I upped the temperature to 200 degrees because it was struggling at 180. So nearly there. In the meantime, I'm actually now chopping some rosemary in tiny little pieces, and this will go on top of my chicken once it's cooked, as the rosemary I added earlier will have clearly cooked, and this will release new freshness and flavor to my meal. And I'm ready, and Julia's asked me already, is it ready? Is it ready? About 3 times, so she will be very pleased. Okay, she's shouting, yes she is. Here it is. And the first thing I'll do though, is really hot of course. I will add my rosemary over here, so I'll then pick it up with my knife and I'll put it on top of my chicken and all of the vegetables. And then let's make sure that I don't burn myself. I'll go in with my spoon. It's ready, Julie, don't worry. She must smell it. There she is. She's a bit like a dog. Obviously, not a dog. She can smell food. Anyway, maybe I'll go in trouble now. So, this is ready, and I will be serving it. But before I do that, I'll test it and I'll let you know what it's like. And here there is a very conveniently placed piece of chicken, and I wanted to actually also try a little bit of that salami from Sicily, and I'll go also for a little potato, and then I'll taste as it is. Oops, where are you going? Pick up. Never mind. I'll get the potato in my hand. Let's try the chicken. That's really nice. The sausage, because obviously it's made with pork, complements the chicken beautifully, and is a little bit spicy, so actually gives a pleasant kick. So you could actually try with chorizo, the Spanish sausage, or normal sausages, or if you don't have access to anything like that, you could try with bacon. You could use smoked or unsmoked bacon or pancetta. Any pork products would be good. So it's really delicious. And sorry, I'm choking. And for a last minute sort of unplanned dinner, I think it's really lovely. So make it and let me know how you get on. Thank you very much. See you later. Buon appetito. Ciao.